Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning March 14th, 2016. This week I'm going to be using the Angel Chatter Archangel Oracle deck by Christine Alexandria, and of course pulling a color card from the Secret Language of Color Oracle deck by Anna Segal. If you would like a personal reading with me, just go to my website at angelsouls444.com, the services page, and if you would like to support me on Patreon, I will leave all that information down below. So there are a few things that I want to give you updates on. Please don't skip ahead if you can manage it because this is information that a lot of you have already been asking me about, or just things that everybody should know. The first thing is I'm noticing a pattern with the personal readings. You know, it's a work in progress. I've been at this for a couple of years now, and I just really want to sort of streamline the process, clean up where we're seeing some patterns, like I said, forming. And one of the things I'm noticing people doing is they're getting in line, and then they think they have 3 weeks to get their question to me. That is simply not the case, okay? Please do not purchase a reading until you're ready to ask your question, all right? To me, that's like calling somebody on the phone and being like, hey, what's up? Oh, hang on a second. And then you're talking to your spouse the whole time. Don't call until you're ready to talk, okay? You know, because I have to get on to the people who are actually following instructions, making the purchase, and then immediately sending their email, okay? If I get to you and I don't have an email, you know, it does waste a lot of time with me chasing people down. I'm going to have to skip right over you and move on to the next person, and that's going to cause a delay. People are going to be upset. I don't want people upset, you know. So please just follow the instructions and just don't purchase a reading until you're ready to ask the question. No one is above this rule, okay? That's the other thing too. I love you guys so much. I really do. And you guys leave the best comments. I just love you so much. But there's some people who are getting really, you know, they feel really close to me and all that good stuff, so they think they can not do things the way everybody else does. And I love you. I would love to give you special treatment, but you know, there's a process, and there's a reason why I have that process. And a lot of it is staying in the right energy. Okay. So again, that's a little bit more to explain, I suppose, but if you can just respect my process, that would be great. And also another reminder to make sure that if your PayPal information is, say, under a business name, but you're sending me all your info under a personal email or under your real name, I'm not going to be able to match those two up. So if you have to send me an email from your work address, let's say, saying, hey, I'm going to send my info under this personal email, just help me link it up somehow. So we're not in that thing where I'm having to give a general reading, which I think, while we're on the topic, I'm going to be changing that policy. Because normally my policy is if I don't have an email from you, you just get a general reading. But what I'm finding is that the people who tend to not follow the instructions tend to, in some cases, they're the ones who get really abusive. I'm being very honest. They get very abusive. And those are the ones, because they didn't follow instructions, they got a general reading, they got mad, they're taking it to Twitter and, you know, spamming me on YouTube. It's like a thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just, you know, I think it's important every once in a while to just stop and look back and go, okay, what's working, what's not working? And this is my forum. This is my way of communicating with you. So I'm going to pass that along to you. The other thing I need to talk about, the course. This is so funny. Okay, so every time somebody would ask me, how do you hear your angels? How do you do this so easily? And I'm like, I don't know. You just talk to them and they talk to you back. I mean, it's not, it's not hard. But then I started sketching out, I'm going to call it a seminar now because I don't really have like a formal teaching platform like I thought I was going to. So I think I'm just going to use Vimeo to load it. So it's going to be more like a seminar. But yeah, I started sketching it out and I'm like, whoa, there is a lot to talk about here. They're just things that I took for granted. So I really want to go through that very carefully, make sure I'm covering everything before I film it and get it loaded, but I'll definitely keep you posted. If you have not done so yet, go to my website. This is the longest video ever. I'm so sorry. Try to wrap it up here. Go to my website and get on my mailing list so I can keep you posted. The other thing I would like for you to do is, if not terribly personal questions, but you know, things that you have experienced or you had a question about when it comes to getting in contact with the angels that you would like to see covered in the seminar because you think other people might be having a similar experience, please leave that comment down below. What I'm not looking for is, Michelle, last night I had this dream. What do you think it means? No, that's a reading, okay? More along the lines of, does anybody else get a flash of color in their mind at a certain point, and what do you think that means? Is that an angel? We can maybe address things like that. Depends on how many people are asking similar questions, and then I can include that into the course. So there's that. What else we got? Oh, I'm going to start a new thing. Try it out, you know, see how it goes, where I load an extra video for each sign every month on a more specialized topic. And then I'm going to load that up to Vimeo for download. Don't worry, I will keep the cost very competitive with other, similar videos or whatever. But yeah, I think that I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe I'll fluctuate on the topics, but I think this coming month, a lot of people said they wanted readings on spiritual growth, which I was a little surprised at. I thought people would definitely be like, oh, I want a love reading, I want this, I want that, but that's what they're down for. So cool, that's what we're going to do. Actually, I'll be filming those right after I film this. The last thing I want to say, you might hear a little jingle. Hopefully that won't be too distracting for you guys. My friend Kim Leroy made this for me last night, this beautiful bracelet. I don't know if you can see too much of it, but it's just gorgeous. She's the one of the owners of Heart Market, which I talk about all the time. And it has this piece of leather in it that she sort of anointed with essential oil. So I'm sitting here with this, like, I forget what we put in there, but it's something holy, I think. Anyway, I thought that'd be a good thing to wear while I did this reading. And Gabe, honey, if you're watching with your mom, Lori, I love the bracelet that you and your mom picked out for me. I wear it all the time. I take it with me, especially when I travel. I just haven't worn your bracelet, I realized today, in a video, but I will, okay? I didn't forget, and of course I do love it. Let's get on to the reading. This is where you're gonna hear the low jangle from my good bracelet. All right, guys, let's see what's going on, and thank you for being patient. That was it was a 6-minute intro. Yikes, don't be mad at me. All right, let's see what's going on. Got a card popping out already. Archangel Zadkiel, past life connection. So Zadkiel is all about transformation. Or not transformation, transmutation. Excuse me. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. There's the other one. Gabriel. Hi, Gabriel. Yay. We like it when Gabriel shows up. All right. Jophiel. And one more card, guys. One more. I feel like I'm on a game show. One more. Do it. Hit me. Okay. Oh, it's Jophiel again. Cool. So let's get into it here. I'm just going to tune in. Okay. So with all of the changes that we've been going through, we're now at this place where we're going to have to work better at seeing the beauty in ourselves and seeing the beauty in others and being less judgmental. It's funny that this is the week that I had like a 6-minute intro to do. I don't usually do that, but some people are going to have judgments about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, on YouTube, this is unacceptable. Whatever. That's the thing. Try to see the beauty in others and see the beauty in yourself, and try not to get impatient this week. Try not to, again, be judgmental or anything like that. If you start to feel those kinds of energies rising up in you, work with Archangel Zadkiel, the Violet Flame Meditation, or Saint Germain if you want to, and transmute those lower frequencies into higher frequencies. Or just, because a lot of times what sparks our judgment of others, or kind of coming at each other and being like, this is how you should do it. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. The unsolicited advice, the criticism that you're like, I'm just trying to help you, right? So that's kind of coming on to a lesser extent with a slightly different twist to it in this coming week. But Zadkiel can definitely help you with the Violet Flame cleanse away some of your own negative emotions, which is triggering you to judge others. Okay? This says, past life connection. Again, it's Archangel Zadkiel. Listen and observe the signals that come to you. They may have roots in a past life. So isn't that interesting? You can also work with Archangel Jeremiel for past life review, and so on and so forth. So to me, this is about things, old patterns that you've been carrying for God knows how long, coming up to the surface now. I'm hearing ancestral healing for some of you as well. That's a thing that some of you are going to have to address. No, this isn't a person. No. Right. Okay. So that's part of seeing the beauty in yourself. And because, how do I put this? For some of you out there watching, I feel like there's a desperate energy coming up, and it is around love, and it's longing for someone. Yeah. There's like this open-ended energy for a lot of people, and they're trying to make that into a love partnership. But that's not what they're talking about here. So if I have to address that because I felt the energy of that come through from people who are watching. Remember, time is not linear, so I can feel you. This is more about those patterns that just are not serving you anymore, and they simply must go. Okay, and you're going to be aware of that this week. But they're also making me feel like, too, this doesn't have to be a hard process. See, sometimes we make everything way harder than it needs to be. Like, oh, I must do a big cleansing ceremony. Well, if that helps you, by all means, do it, you know. But if it comes as a light epiphany and you're like, oh, why do I do that? Is that fun? Do I want to keep doing that? No? Okay, then. And then you just sort of move on from it. The next card we have is Archangel Gabriel. Manifest. This is what you're doing. You're clearing away the old patterns so that you can bring new things into your world. And the world is not the same as it used to be. Okay, so you're not going to be playing by the same rules. We say that all the time too. So get ready to move with the game. All right. Now that doesn't mean that you have to give in to things like social media. Be careful. It's getting easier and easier to track all of us. So use your discernment about what you're giving into and what you're not giving into. But what I'm saying is that, you know, I'm trying to think of an example. Like I was walking down the street and I was actually on my phone and I felt like people were going to look at me and have some judgment about that. But I'm a woman on the go, honey. You know, I mean, sometimes as long as I'm not walking in traffic, okay, if I'm just waiting on a light and I can answer something really quick or post something really quickly, I'm going to do it. It's part of my business and it helps me stay connected to people. But I mean, that's just a silly example. But, you know, be careful about looking at people and going, you shouldn't do that or whatever. It's doing something to you, too. That's not helpful. Okay? We don't need that. All right. Manifest. It says inspiration is the source of all your manifestation. What are your heart's inspirations? This is about getting real. You know, we have those things like vision boards, which are awesome to use. But what are you really putting on there? You're working from the outside in when you're trying to manifest. That is a common manifestation pitfall. It's a pitfall, right? If I have the car, that girl will like me. Ugh, honey, listen to me. I said this before, I'll say it again. If that's what kind of girl you're trying to pull in, we got to work on something, okay? Because there are way better perspectives out there. So again, thinking that, well, if I have a lot of money, then I can get my dream house. So why don't you just try to manifest your dream house? Or manifest a space where you can have peaceful living, you know? And then let it come about as it will. But this is you, because you're releasing those patterns, you're coming into a different energy. You're getting clearer on what it is that you want. And it may surprise you in this coming week. For some, it's like, oh, I've always wanted to get married, I want to manifest a husband. Well, why don't you try to manifest love and then work from there. Let things unfold the way they're going to. All right. So the next card we have is Archangel Jophiel, Radiance. I love this card. I love it. Place your hands over your solar plexus, so that's that space right above your navel. Feel your inner radiance. So this is about really getting back in touch with your self-esteem, guys, and knowing that, and I always say this too, your happiness does not need to be contingent upon what other people are doing towards you. Do you understand? So I always say my happiness is not contingent upon how many people know my name. Like fame is not my end game here. It's to be a messenger and to work with the angels and help them as a physical vessel here on this earth plane to, you know, do what I can to serve humanity and God and whatever. If nobody ever knows my name, that's fine. You know, I know what my worth is anyways. And this is what you're trying to learn this week as well. So if somebody's coming at you, this, I know it can hurt when people come at you and they're being nasty or they're taking their stuff out on you. When you know how beautiful you are, when you know how much you're worth, when you know that no one could ever take your place, okay? That the inner radiance can really come out and nobody can touch it. Nobody can touch it, no matter what, okay? The final card we have before we go on to the color card is Archangel Jophiel again. So be working with Jophiel this week, guys, all right? Strength. Feel your personal strength build physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm feeling like there are layers of message coming through with this. And one of the layers is, you know, being strong enough to be you. That's one of them. Say it again, please. Okay. So letting, again, it's about, I keep going, It's about letting go of those patterns so that you can see the truth of who you are. And it might take some strength to come face to face with yourself. It's going to challenge the ego quite a bit, isn't it? Because if you take a true look at yourself and you actually are not the person you thought you were, you're going to have to come to terms with that. It could be freeing for some people, and yet for others it'd be like, you know, they're so stuck on their identity. That's their sense of self-worth. And when that crumbles, they feel like they have nothing. But that's just clearing the way so that you can ignite your soul and let your heart light come forward. All right? So have the strength to be you, if I'm going to put it very, very simply, and have the strength to just go out there and let yourself be healed. You don't need to hide under the weight and debris of past memories and past patterns. Have the strength to push all that off, heal it, cleanse it, whatever it is that you feel you need to do, and step forward, guys, because we've been saying this, I feel like we say this every week. Time is up, right? No more messing around. You got to get in the game. All right, so let me get the color cards out. I need to have like elevator music playing while I get the deck out. Let's see what's going on for March 14th. Oh. Okay. Is this the card? It's one of the cards. Okay, so I had a card fly out. I don't know if you saw that. I don't think you did. I think it was out of frame. But let's get one more card and we'll talk about them both. Oh, there. Yellow and aqua. Okay, let's look at this. So the first one that flew out is aqua. Experience peace and calm. Come to terms with who you are. Have we talked about that already? Yes, we have. Going with the flow. The number is 33. Work with the Ascended Masters as well. Remember, you have a lot of help out there. And if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling like you're feeling rigid, look at places in your life where you feel, sorry, this piece of hair is driving me crazy. Flopping around. Look at places in your life where you are very rigid and where you need to be a little more fluid. That goes right in alignment. You're going to get peace and calm by not feeling like you got to police everybody else. Okay? I'm guilty of this myself. I shared this with somebody in a personal reading the other day. I was backing out of my parking spot and this guy came speeding through the parking lot, and even though I was halfway out of the spot, I did not see him. And because he flew behind me, he was just a streak behind me, I almost hit him. And then I saw he parked down the way. And I was like, oh, no, you ain't getting away with this. See, I told you, I get human too. And I've got no problem with it. And I do it unapologetically. And I went down there and I honked at him and I yelled at him like, what are you trying to do? Get us all hurt. You know, like, whatever, you know. But, and they just looked at me and laughed. They thought it was funny. But really, I'm not even going to apologize for that. Like I said, I feel pretty okay about that because I told them. And yet, when I drove away, I started to feel bad because I was like, okay, maybe they didn't notice that. I mean, I don't know how you could not see that I was pulling out. I was halfway out of the spot, but whatever. Maybe they didn't see. Maybe they're laughing because they really did not know what the heck just happened. And they're like, what's this girl's problem? I'm sure they were thinking that. The bad part is I got to live right down the road from them. I'll see them again, I'm sure. But that's what I'm talking about being rigid. You know, I could have had my moment of, you know, was it a good thing maybe to let it go? Maybe. But only because it got me so upset for the rest of the day. Or not the rest of the day, but like as I was going on, I really had to breathe because it scared me. It scared me, and then I got angry because they were being careless. And plus there are kids in this neighborhood, and I don't like that. But anyway, that I guess maybe would have been called for. But think about in terms of things that happen in your day-to-day that you feel like you just always have to be angry about because you want to control it in some way or whatever. Go with the flow. That brings you peace and calm, and that's going to help you. Sorry, they called my attention right to this thing. I'll get to it here in a second. But by going with the flow, that's going to help you get peace and calm, and then it'll have a nicer effect as you interact with others. So the yellow card, remember that one card we had about the solar plexus? Here's more of that, okay? The yellow is the solar plexus. It says purify your body. The number is 22. So you're striking a balance here. That's funny because I just gave that example. So strike a balance this week, guys, about what you're going to react to. Some things you shouldn't let go because, you know, it needs to be said, right? And yet you can purify your body in your very existence from this heaviness, like I said, the peace and calm. Purify your body of any stress. What is getting you riled up? But again, striking that balance. Just to reiterate, sometimes you're supposed to speak up. Sometimes you can let it go. Pick your battles, okay? Pick your battles. And it's going to make you feel a lot better. Okay, guys? So there it is. Have a beautiful week. And of course, I'm sending you so much love. So there it is, guys. Have a beautiful week. And I am sending you so much love. Take care.